All right, you know what I'm saying? So, boom. So this video is going to be a little bit of a, spur of the moment type of thing. So, yeah, I just leave the store, right? I go in there to get the exact same pre-workout that I've been getting for God knows how long. And, the fuckers, they change it up on me. They change it up on me. I go in there, the same shit that I've been getting for, months, at the least. This new pre-work, well, it's not new, but this pre-workout that I've been getting, they no longer have it. They no longer have what I was looking for. They've changed it up. They've changed the name. It's the same brand, but it's a different name. And I'm just looking at it like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? This is not what I get. It's not what I usually come here for. It's not what I traditionally pay for. So I do a little research. I look it up online. Apparently, I guess the kind that, I've been used to getting for this entire time, they no longer have. They've changed it up on me. They've effectively, just took their knuckle and just stuck it up my ass. That's basically what they've done to me. So now I have to go look for a different pre-workout. Not too happy about that. They did that as well with my protein powder. The protein I was getting, they stopped distributing it at fucking Walmart. So I had to go get I had to, get myself a different protein powder several months back. And I'm just like, what the fuck? They've done it again. They've done it again. These companies, these brands, they've done it again. I'm like, what in the world is this? This is not what I get. I want the same exact thing. You hear me? You understand me? I want the same exact thing that I've been getting this entire time. That I've been getting the whole time. I don't want something slightly different. I don't want a slightly different version or a slightly different variant. I want the same exact motherfucker that I've been dumping a scoop into my goddamn water with the entire time. Okay? Is that so much to ask for? Alright? That's not the point. The point is, this just got me thinking about the whole WWE, ESPN thing that they have coming out next year. So, now what is this all about? So, we now have to shell out more money for a streaming service that's completely brand new, completely unproven, probably going to be buggy as hell the first few months. They're probably so. I haven't completely read up on the whole thing myself because I frankly don't care all that much about it. I care enough about it to make a video about it, but not enough to go do some of my own research. So I don't give a fuck. Sue me. But I don't know if they're moving the entire library to the new ESPN Plus app, or if it's just going to be the new pay-per-views that are live. Because the way I see it, they seem to be now just kind of splitting their content between too many platforms, between too many services. Used to be you were able to watch Raw on cable, SmackDown on network TV, which meant all you needed was an antenna, so anyone could watch SmackDown practically. And then the pay-per-views, of course, if you were one that ordered the pay-per-views, then you would get those events as well, right? It wasn't something overly complicated or difficult to understand. I would imagine for most people. So, but nowadays we have Netflix, which is the home of Raw, right? So you need a Netflix account just to watch Raw, just Raw. You need a Netflix account, which I think a lot of people probably already have one anyway, but still. Uh, and then Peacock now is the home of, well, Peacock is essentially the WWE network, but in the U.S. But the problem with that is, they've moved the entire Raw library off of Peacock. So for those of us, including myself, that were going back and watching some old episodes, I was in the middle of, I think, 2003. I think I just watched Backlash 2003. And I was just watching the Raw and SmackDowns, just, fuck it, wanted to watch some wrestling. So that is what it is, right? And now I can no longer watch my old Raws. So I'm like, fuck it, I get on there last night. I'm like, I guess I'll just watch some old SmackDowns then since I can't watch Raw. But then I'm like, no, I don't want to watch it at all now because I don't want to watch the Raws, or I'm sorry, I don't want to watch the SmackDowns without the Raws. I don't want to watch the Raws without the SmackDowns. I want to see them both. I want it all. You understand? I want it all. I want the whole fucking thing. I want the whole damn thing. I don't want one show on this network or in this show on this streaming service. So you need Peacock to be able to, watch the library, if you would like to watch the library, you would need a Netflix account just to watch Raw. You would need cable or like a Sling type of app to watch SmackDown, which is on USA. And then now they have this new ESPN Plus coming out. And again, I'm not sure if they're moving the entire library. Like, I'm not sure if they're going to be done with Peacock completely and just move everything over to ESPN Plus, because I know they still have the SmackDown deal with NBC, obviously. So there's a possibility that only the new pay-per-views could air on ESPN Plus and the rest of the library stays on Peacock. But if that's the case, then now you're telling me you need cable slash Sling. You're telling me you need Netflix. You're telling me you need Peacock and then ESPN Plus if you want to watch the new pay-per-views. I don't think most people who end up subscribing for the library really give a fuck about the new pay-per-views. I just want to watch the old stuff. Now, at one point in time, I was actually watching some of the current pay-per-views. I would say maybe around 2023 when things were a little bit interesting. Triple H was still kind of in that honeymoon phase of him taking over. People were still optimistic. The show wasn't, I feel like, as bad as it is now, because at least then you still had the Bloodline to look forward to. So I was watching a few pay-per-views back in like 2023. I might have even watched one or two in 2022. And then I think after about WrestleMania 40, which I didn't watch WrestleMania 40, I'm not gonna lie. These WrestleManias now are too long, for me to really care for them. To be honest, they're just too damn long. Um, but I would say honestly around that time that Cody won the title is when I kind of lost interest in actually even watching the pay-per-views anymore, because I haven't watched Raw and SmackDown on a regular basis in, I would say, maybe a few years. The last time I gave Raw and SmackDown a chance was, I think, shortly after the time that Vince left the first go around when Triple H took over back in like mid 2022. So I would say around like maybe after SummerSlam in 2022, I kind of was watching a few Raws and SmackDowns here a little bit just to kind of see how things would change and what things would look like, because I was curious. Vince had just left. I was curious. But since Vince is gone, or since he's been gone, I should say, things have just continued to go downhill more and more, right? And I don't want to say this is all a Triple H thing. I see a lot of people putting it all on Triple H. I don't want to say this is all a him thing. Like, he's only running creative. I'm sure he doesn't really get to have a say about whether or not, they put ads on the mat or not. Like, that was obviously a no-no for Vince. But Triple H, he's not running the whole company. He's only running what we see on TV. So the actual advertisement, the placement of the ads that we see, I wouldn't be surprised if that's not his call, basically. But now it's just preposterous. This video was really about the whole ESPN thing, but now the whole thing is just gone preposterous. The tickets are skyrocketing. There's no point in even, like, who the fuck, you're not telling me, that I'm gonna see Austin and Rock and fucking Hogan. You're telling me that I'm gonna see Seth Rollins and CM Punk and, fucking Bronson Reed. Who the fuck does WWE think they are? They have no right whatsoever to be just basically robbing their fans. You like, if you being a WWE fan now is basically just like being held at gunpoint, for all your money, for every fucking dime and cent and nickel that you have. I mean, why even watch the show? Why even watch the show? It's just one big ad. They've got fucking logos on the ladders now, logos on the tables. Bro, up your ass. Take that fucking table and shove it up your ass. Put that ad to good use. You know what I mean? Nobody gives a fuck about these fucking random ass jabroni companies that they put all over their fucking TV. I'm sick and tired of it. I can say that I would stop watching if I already wasn't watching, but yet I'm still gonna say what I gotta say about it, okay? Because it's fucking ridiculous. It's fucking preposterous. They might could possibly get away with this if they were like in a boom period or something, but they have less viewers than ever. That's the trick. That's the trick that WWE pulls on you. That's the lie that WWE tries to perpetrate to your ass. They try to tell you and try to do all these things to convince you of something that is completely false. WWE is not in a boom period. They're not hotter than ever. just because they get Cardi B to show up at SummerSlam. Bro, Cardi B, you know, she might as well have disappeared off the face of the earth because she's nowhere near as hot as she was even a couple years ago, if you ask me. You get these fucking D-list celebrities, bro. It's only a matter of time before they have DDG pop up in that bitch. It's only a matter of time before they start, sucking the dick of, the third man down on the goddamn next Fast and Furious cast. Right? WWE's not culturally relevant. It hasn't been since maybe the late 2000s, if we're being real. So the way that they make their money now is with all these damn ads and, the media rights deals that they sign, which I don't know how the hell they're able to con these networks and streaming platforms out of billions of dollars. Obviously, all it takes is a look at WWE's ratings over the past, I don't know, 10 years to see that this company has clearly been trending down, but yet they just get all this fucking money thrown at them as if they're still this hot commodity, bro. It's not 2001. It's 2025. No one gives a fuck about wrestling. Maybe one day these executives will get it through their asses. And, if that's the case, if they actually start holding WWE to some higher standards, then we might actually get some decent TV again in the future at some point. But until then, I'm gonna piece the fuck up out of here and catch you in the next one.